Okay, so today we're going to be learning about Kahoot. Now, Kahoot is a game that you can play with your students. It's an interactive game, actually. So what I would do in my classrooms is actually take my school laptop and hook it up to my monitor, and then I'll go and sign in at Kahoots. Now, it says create.kahootit.it. Well, actually, I don't have to create one now because I have an actual Kahoot membership already. So if you needed to create one, you would click sign up. Then you will go in as a teacher. And then once you sign up as a teacher, you could use your email, your Google, or your Microsoft account. So if I use email, it'll say add your school or university. You're going to pick a username. You're going to enter the email address, create a password. If you played it before, you click yes. If not, you click no. Then you have to click I've read the agreement with the Kahoot, and then you don't necessarily have to click these two because you don't necessarily want to get information, and if you don't like special offers from that, that's fine. So then I already have an account, so I click login. As you can see, my username, which is my school address, and the password is already there. I'm gonna click login. It's gonna sign me in. And so let's say it says find me a Kahoot. So let's see, adding polynomials. So I'm gonna find a Kahoot on adding polynomials. So this one says adding polynomials and subtracting polynomials. If you notice, it's only 10 questions long. So let's say I'll click this one. Yeah, so then I look at these questions and I'm like, okay, yeah, my students should be able to do this. And then I'm gonna go here and click play. So once I click play, you notice it says I wanna do classic, which is player versus player. Now, if you do it this way, in this mode, this is where your students play against each other. In this mode, there's a team mode. So team mode means you have sets of teams. They get together and they compete against other teams in the class. Sometimes I do teams, but often I do player versus player. Because I want to see what my students think individually as far as them working together as a team to see how they all come up with an answer. So individually gives me, I sometimes use this as a formative assessment. So individually lets me know what students have mastered these standards of adding and subtracting polynomials. So let's do class. As you see, it says join at Kahoot, and then we're going to enter, your students will enter this game pin. The music is weird. You can't change it. So once they take their cell phones, and then they'll go to the Kahoot app on their phone. So they need the app on their phone. They go to the Kahoot game. Let's see. Site, which is Kahoot on the phone. So I'm going to enter the code. And then I'm going to hit enter. And then my nickname, your students can choose whatever name they want. Let's do Ferg for my last name. Okay, go. As you noticed, Ferg pops up. So it pops up. This is I've joined in, and so to say you're in, you should see your nickname on the screen. So that means once you sign up, and then your students enter the pin, their names will automatically populate on your screen. And so once everybody gets in, you want to click start. And then their phone will say get ready, and it's loading the questions. And then question 1, go. Then the question says, which is one way to classify this? So because this is a polynomial, it depends on what they choose. So let's say they choose quadratic. And so it'll pop up on their screen as correct, and it'll tell you who all got it right and who all got it wrong. And so the answer is a quadratic. And because it's polynomials, being that you've already taught this lesson, they should get that correct. That's how you play Kahoots. Now, I use Kahoots in the class as a formative assessment. It's a good way to keep the students engaged in the lesson. Kids love to play Kahoots. They think it's so amazing. They get loud and rowdy from time to time, especially if they're getting them all right, because it'll show you who ranks number one when your students are playing in the class. So the competition is really live. So if you're looking for a good game to play in your class as a formative assessment and to keep your students engaged throughout the game, I would recommend Kahoot. You can play it for any age. There are all kind of games on here for kindergartners, first graders, elementary school. Even if you want to play it with your family and friends, Kahoot is a good game to play. So here is Kahoot. You could look it up online and try it out in your classroom if you're looking for a high engaging assignment.